Hey everyone, welcome and thanks so much for joining us tonight. I'm Sony Boito. I'm a healthy living affiliate with our sponsor, the Juice Plus Company. I partnered with the Juice Plus Company back in 2006, and I'm so passionate about health and wellness. And I've spent about 32 years working alongside all sorts of physicians and orthopedic and sports medicine physicians, as well as internists and surgeons, emergency physicians, and of course, radiologists, because I've worked in X-ray and MRI in that time. And I've also taught lots of folks how to operate that kind of equipment. And I serve as a peer reviewer for a couple of my professional societies and their journals. So I bring that up because we're going to talk tonight a little bit about some research that's been done on the Juice Plus Company, and just to say how much I value and appreciate the credibility that brings to our offerings. And also, I became a certified health coach because I can see how, we need the medical industry, we need also lifestyle and wellness, and to bring them together. And so that's what we're out to do. Everyone with this community wants to bridge the gap between what we should do and what we are doing. And yeah, so I've worked like I said, as a health coach, and have done wellness talks and presentations at centers like the MD Anderson Cancer Center, one of the centers that has done some research on our Juice Plus products. So again, I just share this to let you know how much I value scientific research and support that the medical industry has to offer us when it comes to our health. And over the years, I've learned that it's just that, support in our health, and is first and foremost an inside jobs, right? So take a look and see, are you outsourcing things that maybe are an inside job? And we appreciate you taking some time out of your busy schedule to tune in with us tonight, and I just wanted to showcase, because like I say, I partnered with the company in 2006, and I've heard so many incredible stories that bring so much hope. And so I wanted to bring us together to learn some more about those. So before we dive in with our guests tonight, I want to start out giving everyone a quick overview of what Juice Plus is, if you've never tried it before. The Juice Plus Company is a $15 billion global health food company, and our flagship product are our Juice Plus Essentials line, which includes our fruit, veggie, and berry and omega blends. That omega blend is actually a broad spectrum vegan omega, and it contains the oil from algae and 5 different kinds of seeds, including things like pomegranate and sea buckthorn berry oils. And so that brings us more than just omega-3s, which are most commonly known because of how much research has been conducted on omega-3s, but there's also omega-5, omega-6, omega-7, and omega-9. So that blend brings us that full spectrum. I want to come back though to our fruit and veggie and berry blends, and the way that it works is, think about a Vitamix blender, right? Because when you say Juice Plus, you think juice, right? That you're drinking juice or something like that. And it's actually a little different. So we take this giant industrial Vitamix. That's what the produce is thrown into. And when I say the produce is thrown in there, when we're talking like an orange, I mean the whole entire orange with the peel and the seeds and everything, because that brings so much more nutrition. And so we grind that down into a pulp or a juice, and then that gets dried at a low temperature. As it's drying, the sugar and salt actually evaporate with the water. And so that leaves us with powdered produce that consists of very concentrated nutrition. So not just the vitamins, not just the minerals, but all of the phytonutrients, the plant nutrients, as well as active enzymes too. And so those powders get put into a capsule or into a little gummy chewable, and that's how we get them. So the essentials are more than just a multivitamin. these little capsules and soft chewables were the origins of superfoods, right? And so they provide a huge variety of produce, things that you don't eat every day or probably can't even get every day. Like, I don't know where to find bilberries at the store, elderberries. I could probably figure out how to order some elderberries or black currants online. I've done that, but I don't know about bilberries, right? So, this is a variety, a broad variety of things that most of us don't eat every day. And some of these we can't really even buy at the grocery store. So I'm joined tonight by my co-host, Deborah Bradford, just fantastic, phenomenal. She's been a Healthy Living affiliate with our company since 2014. And she's got a background as a parent educator and also a lifestyle excellence opportunity woman. So she is a professional organizer, and I hope will share a little bit about herself tonight. She's 72 years old and takes no medications, and I just think that's fantastic. And then we have a couple of storytellers joining us tonight, Janice Mann and Carmen Maxwell. And Carmen's been with our company for a number of years, and Janice has been with us for a couple of years now, but she's really turning it up and getting active and has a really amazing story. So I'm excited to spotlight and showcase that with her tonight. So Deborah, would you like to add anything in, co-host buddy?
Hi there, everyone. Thanks for joining us this evening. I am so looking forward to hearing what Carmen and Jan have to say about their health journey and their choices since they became aware of the Juice Plus company. And I'll just say that when I saw Sony post a picture of her vertical garden system on Facebook in 2013, I was immediately, I must have one. And I was really reluctant to hear anything about Juice Plus itself because I truthfully thought it was the hokiest thing I'd ever heard. How can you get all that nutrition in capsules? And then I became open because the Tower Garden was such a success for me personally, eating fresh foods again that I'd grown. I said, okay, tell me about the company, tell me about the products. And I've been on Juice Plus every day since. I got off high blood pressure medication and high cholesterol medication within 6 weeks of starting my Juice Plus. My allergies disappeared. I've been maintaining great blood work. As she said, I'm on no medications. I'm 72, pain-free, just living a great life. In fact, you may hear in just a little bit a 7.5-year-old come here through here to get dinner. I'm at her house today, and she's my great niece, and we have a lot of fun together. So thanks.
Awesome, Deborah, thank you. So I'm going to start with Jan. Jan, tell us how you learned about Juice Plus. Of course, I know. How you learned about Juice Plus and why you thought it was great, something great for yourself and your family.
Okay, thank you. First, let me thank you for the invitation to speak tonight. I'm honored. Well, I'm a walking miracle. And the reason that happened is Juice Plus. And here's the short version. About 2.5 years ago, I'd started eating Juice Plus about 3.5 years ago, but about 2.5 years ago, right during the pandemic, I thought I had bronchitis so bad I went to the ER. And they tried to send me home with medicine for bronchitis without testing me, but I stayed. And they didn't want me sitting in the waiting room with all the people with COVID, but I stayed because I felt like I really needed to stay. And so when I finally got in there and they did some blood work, they said, we're going to hospitalize you. You're having a heart attack. And I was like, oh, great. Well, this is a good place to have it. I guess I have angels around me, Well, I know I do, for a matter of fact. So they put me in the hospital, and then they did an angioplasty. And the next thing I know, I'm scheduled for a triple bypass. Well, let me tell you, You have no idea what you're getting into with a triple bypass. They do not tell you what's going to happen on the other end of that, but they saved my life. And Deborah Bradford saved the rest of my life because she took care of me when I came out of the hospital and while I was in the hospital. If I hadn't had the Juice Plus fortifying my system, I probably wouldn't be here right now. It was that bad. And when we got me home, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't sit up by myself. I couldn't walk to the bathroom. I couldn't really walk anywhere. And it was a scary place for me. But Deborah just kept handing me Juice Plus and handing me protein shakes. And I got through it. And here I am 2.5 years later, making things happen. I decided that Deborah was on to something, with this Juice Plus, because every month she was getting a check and I wasn't getting a check because I wasn't doing anything. I was just watching and saying, yeah, I'll use your Juice Plus for free. Sure, let me do that. So I was doing that. And finally I said, you know what? After a conversation or two with you, Sony, and numerous conversations with Deborah, I decided I was going to join the business and actually build it. And so I've been working on that. In the first 60 days, I cranked it up really well and almost made the second level. But then I'm a long haul COVID, I wouldn't say victim, but I'd certainly say it's tricky with long haul COVID because it's very much a lot of fatigue and aches and pains and moodiness. And if it wasn't for Juice Plus, I don't know what would be happening to me. I eat a lot of gummies. I was just saying earlier to Sony, I eat a lot of gummies, and I take the omegas religiously because I know I'm not eating all the right foods yet, but I will. In the meantime, I need to cover the gap, and having immune system disorder, and as much as I'd like to, I need to be fortified by something that's going to protect me, and this protects me. And I'm really excited about where we're going to take this business because, I'm on Sony's team, and I know 3 in a row that are all going national marketing director in a period of time. That's Sony and Deborah and I right away. And so we're working on it. Also want to tell you about the Tower Gardens. I love the Tower Gardens. I'm from the country in West Virginia, and when we grew tomatoes, they tasted like tomatoes, but they don't taste that way in the grocery store now. They pick them green, they pump them full of gas to make them look like they're red, but they're really pink when that happens. And so, when I can just walk in and make a salad right off my Tower Garden, and that's an important piece for me because I need that. So if I need it, I don't know anybody else who doesn't need it. I mean, everywhere I go, I'm talking Tower Gardens and Juice Plus, and it's made a great difference for me. And I'm really grateful to God that both Deborah and Sonia are in my life to teach me what I need to do to build this business. Thanks.
Wow, Jan, that's so amazing. And I love hearing you bring it back to, what there is to do, that you're taking those steps, and especially with your Tower Garden. So you're just a phenomenal miracle, Jan. When I look at you, I know that you have tapped into this community, and the steps that you're taking to take control of your health for yourself. Like we were talking about, meeting in the middle. Yes, of course, we need the doctors to provide that support, but we've got to meet them in the middle. It's not just they wave a magic wand and boom, we're healthy. So outstanding.
There's a lot of doctors in getting educated on Juice Plus, because when I come in and I talk to them, I make sure they know about it. Most of them have no idea what I'm talking about, but I've got some that will probably soon be training their staff to tell their patients about it.
Yeah, excellent. And like we say, that clinical research, There's over 40 peer-reviewed studies supporting Juice Plus. And as a medical professional, that was what hooked me, to know that it was just food, and to know that we have that research that shows that our body absorbs it, our body is supported, it fortifies our immune system, our digestive system, our gum health, our skin health, our cardiovascular health, our lung health, even with people that are smoking. Not that I'm recommending that, right? But just amazing, incredible stories like that. So thank you, Jan.
You're
Carmen,
welcome.
how about, yeah, go ahead.
One big thing I noticed when I went to conference, last conference, was how much authentic love is in our program and in our teams. Side people, downline, upline, we're all one. And I really love that. You don't find that most businesses.
Yeah, and that's the perfect segue, right? Because that's exactly Carmen's sideline, right? And
That's right.
she, I mean, just everything that she has poured out and into us cannot express the gratitude. And so Carmen, I want to hear your story. Tell us how you heard about Juice Plus, because I don't think I know how you heard. I think I know how Michelle, but how did you hear about Juice Plus, and why did you decide it was something for you and your family to get started on?
Yeah, well, thank you, Sony, for inviting me to share tonight. And yeah, so it's been 18 years since I've learned about Juice Plus. And if you go back 18 years, I was a new mom of a 1-year-old baby, and she was constantly at the pediatrician's office month after month after month. And I was very, very frustrated and just stuck in this cycle of sickness. We had more sick days than we had well days. I was a pariah at play groups because I was actually not invited. I got uninvited more than I got invited because my friends learned to ask me if my daughter was sick before I came. Because she always was sick, even though it wasn't anything serious, but it was like the snotty nose and she would get high fevers, and it was really a struggle. And it was actually, we were on a trip from Cincinnati, which is where I live, to North Carolina, where my brother was getting his MFA in film. And we were halfway through our trip. We stopped overnight, and my daughter spiked a fever. It was 104 degrees, not unusual for her. And the next day we finished our drive to Greensboro, North Carolina, which is where we were headed. And we did not pass go, did not go to the hotel, went straight to the urgent care. And it was just a horrible experience. It was a horrible experience because the doctor that was treating us in that urgent care was not used to dealing with a 14-month-old, did not give ibuprofen or anything like that. And my poor little baby was like so miserable and was getting her ears scraped out, and she was just screaming her head off. And the doctor literally let us go and said, well, she might have an ear infection. Here's a prescription for antibiotics, go ahead and fill it and then give it to her, and hopefully it helps her. And I went back to the hotel, and I just was beside myself as a mom. I just knew that this is not sustainable, and it wasn't the answer. Giving her a script of antibiotics for something that she might have was not the answer. And in that moment, my sister was there, and my sister said, Carmen, have you ever heard of Juice Plus? And I'd never heard of it before. And she told me that it was fruits and vegetables. And she told me that they had research specifically on the immune system. And she told me that they had gummies for kids, and that Ella at 14 months old would be totally safe for her to take these gummies. And I was like, I just knew that that was the answer for us. She handed me a CD. So it was 18 years ago. So she handed me a CD in a little, cardboard cover. It was Dr. Rick Dubois, The Whole Truth in 15 Minutes. And I listened to it. We had like a 9-hour drive home. I think I probably listened to it 5 or 6 times. By the time we got home to Cincinnati, I was like, how do I get this? And I want my whole family to take it. Even though my husband and I were healthy, we didn't have any health issues. We were in our late 20s. We were perfectly healthy. But I understood, because of that education around nutrition and disease, that you invest in your health when you have it, so that you can keep it. And that made sense to me. And so we've been on Juice Plus for 18 years. I now have two teenagers. I have a 17-year-old and a 19-year-old. My 19-year-old is a sophomore in college. She still takes Juice Plus. I'm so grateful, because she's a super picky eater, and that dining hall food is not her cup. It's not her dad's cooking, which she's used to and she loves. It's not. So she's like a little bit on the struggle bus with food in the dorms, but she has her Juice Plus, and she understands that, if she doesn't take her Juice Plus, she's not going to feel her best, and she wants to feel good. So she takes her Juice Plus. And then my youngest daughter is a Juice Plus baby, and I took it as a prenatal with her. So she's had it every single day of her life. She's never had a sick visit, except for one sick visit when she was less than a year old. And she has been so healthy for her whole entire life. And I know that it's because of this foundational nutrition that she's had in her body every single day. And my husband and I, we take it every single day because, again, we want to keep our health. My husband's approaching 50, and I don't want to tell you, but I also am. But I mean, I know that Juice Plus is keeping me young. I mean, I get told I still get carded sometimes at the grocery store. And I know that part of that is genes, but also I think it's how I take care of myself, and the fact that I've been taking care of myself so well. The thing about, if you want to be healthy, if you really want to have long-term health, join a community that encourages those habits. And that's what I did 18 years ago when I found Juice Plus, and I got immersed in this incredible, uplifting, encouraging community. Is I found the best health club ever that encouraged me to take that next step and that next step and that next step with my health, so that I was really I'm so far ahead of where I ever would have been had I not found this. So that's my story, and we're just so grateful to have Juice Plus as our foundation for nutrition.
Wow, Carmen. So, oh my goodness, poor baby girl, mama heart just, yes. So I'm so glad that you found Juice Plus and, got her on the road to health, and that you saw the value to invest for yourself and your husband, even when you guys were healthy, knowing that, like Janice said earlier, it fortifies us. And, it's not that we never have down days or whatnot, but that we have that fortification to come back to, that baseline fundamental always there. So awesome. Carmen, what excited you? Why did you decide to share Juice Plus with others?
Yeah. Well, I just want to say that if you're wondering what this is my tower garden. So I kind of try to block it out, because I feel like it's really distracting. But I also, Jan, love the tower gardens. We grow tower gardens year round. My husband's a science teacher, and he grows them in schools with the elementary kids. They love it. They have salad parties, and those kids, those parents, when they come in, and those first graders are getting seconds of salad that they grew themselves, and their parents' jaws are on the ground because they never eat salad at home. It's the best reward right there, right? And so we also love tower gardens. But anyways, I'm just going to shift over here so it's not so bright. But I'll tell you, so I mentioned that my husband's an elementary school teacher, and 18 years ago, I was working outside the home, and my daughter was in daycare. Part of the reason why she was sick all the time was because she was in daycare, and I hated dropping her off at daycare. I mean, I would drop her off and she would cry, and then I would leave and I would get in my car and I would cry the whole way that I drove to work. And it broke my heart on a daily basis. But financially, we did not have an option for me to not make an income. And so that's where we were. You know, my husband was a beginning teacher and we had more month than we had money. And so there just wasn't that, there wasn't a way. And when I learned about Juice Plus, I knew I wanted it for my whole family. But we really did have to figure out a way that I could afford it because, you know, even though Juice Plus is an investment, and even though the value of what you get for that financial investment is so much more than what you actually pay for it, you still have to figure out how to, you know, where those funds are coming from. And that's where we were when we first learned about Juice Plus, is we were really in a place of having to watch every penny. And I found myself, I got my daughter on it first because of course you'll sacrifice whatever you can, right, for your kids. And so I got my daughter on it first. She started the gummies before my husband and I did. And I told you my sister gave me that CD and I literally was so on fire with this information that I was passing that CD out. I didn't even know there was like an opportunity attached to the Juice Plus. I didn't know anything. I knew nothing. And I just knew that I wanted to share this information with other people because I was talking to people and I said, did you know they put fruits and vegetables in a capsule? And people were like, what are you talking about? I'm like, here, listen to this. And so that's what I was doing. I was very much a natural sharer. And it was my sister, I told you, that shared this with me. And so I kept going back to her and asking for more education. Do you have any other CDs? Is there anything else you can send me? I really want to learn more. And so she would be sending me these things. She's putting care packages together. And she finally said, you know, Carmen, if you're going to talk about this, you might want to join, you know, partner with the company and at least get paid back on what you're buying. And it was like a huge light bulb went off. And I thought, what if this is how I can be home with my daughter? And I will be totally honest with you. My husband was like, he did not say this to me because he's smarter than he looks. Like, he did not say this to me. But in his head, he's like, there's no way she's going to be able to do this because I'm very much an introvert. And back then I was super, super shy to the point where I wouldn't even call to order pizza because I didn't want to talk to a stranger on the other end of the phone. Like, I was not talking to strangers. I wasn't going to go into a room full of people and start, you know, striking up conversation, whatever, you know, the 3-foot rule that they used to talk about. Like, if you're within 3 feet of somebody, you should be talking to them. I was like, no, that's not happening. I'm never doing that. But I felt so strongly that people needed to know about it. And that seed that was planted, that what if seed of like, what if this is a way that I could be home with my daughter? And ultimately, those things all combined came together. And I have been able to be home with my kids. I said I have a senior in high school. I'm graduating my youngest this year, and I've been able to be home with them for the last 17 plus years. And I am so grateful for that time that I've had. And in that time that I've been able to be that stay-at-home mom, I call myself a stay-at-home mom with a paycheck because I've been able to do all of the things that stay-at-home moms get to do. You know, I was a Girl Scout leader, I was a room mom, I was at the field trips, I was doing all of those things. And I was also building a business alongside of it. And this business has allowed me to do so much. I was actually worked my way, even as an introvert who wouldn't call for pizza. I've been able to work myself all the way up to the top of the company. I provide the benefits for our family now, which my husband's at the end of his teaching career, and he has options. Like, he, you know, in order to retire, you have to work a certain number of years. Well, most teachers have to work those number of years, whether or not they want to. He might end up working the next 8 years, but he might decide that he only wants to work the next 3 years. And he can say no when he wants to because I carry the benefits for our family. So he can walk away and do something else that lights his soul on fire, that makes him happy, because he doesn't have that like noose, you know, of like, oh, but we have to have benefits as a family. I carry that because that's what our company provides for us. So not only does our company for my family provide an incredible income and the time freedom and the financial options to be able to say yes, but it also provides our family that full benefit package that includes tuition reimbursement for college. So my daughter's in college, I get that tuition reimbursement for her. When my youngest daughter goes to school next year, I'll get tuition reimbursement for her as well. So it's just been incredible. And I think about, like, what would I be doing if I didn't have Juice Plus? And I don't even like to think about it, because number one, I would be a slave to the clock. I'd have to, get in my car probably and drive somewhere. I'd have to get dressed in something besides workout clothes. And I'd have to, make my schedule around what I had to do versus what I wanted to do. Which, that doesn't sound like fun, right? But, I also would be absent this incredible community that Jan was mentioning, Sony, just knowing you sideline, but just knowing all of the incredible people that I've met through this community, people who have said yes to doing what we do. I didn't even know them. There's so many people out there that I never would have even known if not for this community, who are on my team now and who are some of my very best friends and who are some of my favorite people in the world, because of this community. And Jan, I totally agree with you when you said that, like, there's so much love in our community. It's not a place of competition. It's a place of giving and encouragement and cheering each other on, and wanting everybody to win. And I just think that's absolutely priceless.
Wow, Carmen. Like,
Thanks so much, Carmen.
thank you. There's nothing else to say. Thank you, Carmen. Honestly, there really isn't. And, I just say to any of you that are watching, please check back with the person who invited you, because I know that the love that you've heard Jan and Carmen and Deborah and myself speak about, we want to pour that all over you. So we just care for you so deeply. And if we've invited you to learn about this information, it's because we do care for you and want you to have that access to this community. So thank you, Jan. Thank you, Carmen. Thank you, Deborah. And with that, we'll sign off. Thanks all.
Thanks all. It was great.
Everyone, have a good night. Thanks,
Good
Mark.